Hey, it's Christina, Keto Boss Babe here, and today I want to talk to you about keto and low-carb sweeteners. So let's go over your keto options first, and then I'm going to give you 2 additional low-carb sweeteners that some people like to use for the rest of their family that is not keto, or if they're just kind of easing into the lifestyle, it's a great place to start. Okay, so let's talk about our keto sweeteners to begin with. The first sweetener that we heard about was one called Swerve. So Swerve is extremely popular. We get them off of Amazon. You can also find them in some other places like your grocery store, the health food section, health food stores, etc. But I do find great prices on Amazon. So the way that Swerve makes their product is all of their products are made from erythritol, which is a keto sweetener, which means it doesn't have a glycemic impact. It's not considered sugar. It is a keto sweetener, so it is okay on our keto lifestyle. And they have 2 main versions. One of them is going to be granulated Swerve, and that's in the orange packet, and it'll say granulated on it. And then the other main version is going to be a Confectioners Swerve, and it will say, it's in purple, it will say Confectioners or powdered on it. And it doesn't bake the same as regular powdered sugar. So let me tell you why we use each of them. This Confectioners is just ground up, granulated basically. But I tend to prefer the Confectioners. I feel like it bakes a little bit easier into whatever I'm making. I don't feel those granulated crystals. Some people don't mind this at all and love the granulated. When I buy them, I usually buy like a 2-pack and I get one of each, or I'll end up maybe buying a 2-pack of just the Confectioners. So when we cook, some people do notice a cooling effect aftertaste on the Swerve. For Keto Dad, he doesn't notice a thing. He absolutely loves anything we make with Swerve. For me, I'm really sensitive to that aftertaste, and I generally won't eat a baked good if it just has Swerve in it. That's okay because there are other sweeteners that you can add to it that make it absolutely delicious. So for me, when I bake, I love to use my Confectioner Swerve in the purple packet, but then I add in something called liquid Stevia. And this brand is Sweet Drops. We get this off of Amazon or at our local grocery store in the health food section. And this is a liquid Stevia, and basically all you do is, hey babe, you wanna come in? So basically all you do is add a couple drops of the liquid Stevia onto whatever you're making with your powdered Swerve, and it makes kind of that cooling effect go away. And using the combination, sometimes alone with the liquid Stevia, you'll notice kind of like a bitter aftertaste of using it in your coffee or something. But if you combine the 2 together, then you don't have that bitter aftertaste that you often sense. So that is our liquid Stevia and our Swerve products. And then we kind of get into the others. So with the liquid Stevia, there's also one called Truvia. Truvia is incredibly popular. Nick loves using this in his coffee. And the reason is this is a combination of both Stevia and erythritol. So it has both in there mixed together already. Because of that, anything that has Stevia, it is a sweeter product than just erythritol, and it is not a 1-to-1 conversion. So there will be a conversion table on the product. Anything that has Stevia in it, if there's no bulkener in it, it will have a conversion chart on the product itself. So this one does. So he uses just a small amount of Truvia, and that will be perfect for his coffee. He absolutely loves it. We use this for baking sometimes too, but it's kind of a little box here. So the next version we have that also combines erythritol and Stevia is our Pure. So Pure is a really popular one out there. It tastes great. I love this in baking if I don't want to worry about doing my Confectioner Swerve and my liquid Stevia. This here is a granulated version of Stevia and erythritol. So there is a conversion chart on the back of it. It's basically half of what you would normally put in, so it's not 1-to-1. But it bakes in really well, and I do love my baked goods with the Pure as well. So our last option on just kind of the white sugar replacements is something called MONKFRUIT. And this is not Stevia, it is not erythritol, it's actually something called MONKFRUIT. And it is a 1-to-1 conversion, and because it's not Stevia or Swerve, it has kind of it doesn't have that cooling effect or that aftertaste. There is like you might notice like a slight different taste in it, but it's actually really good. We enjoy it. So, what's going on? Are you getting a little sleepy? The MONKFRUIT and Lakanto is the company that makes this one, is actually a really good option as well. Okay, so from there, let's move to our brown sugar replacements. So we have very similar options on the brown sugar side, and I have two different brands here I can show you. Swerve came out with their version of brown Swerve, and it does kind of like bake like brown sugar. You can kind of hear the dogs playing in the background. It's always crazy in the Keto Diet house. But it does kind of bake like brown sugar, and we have made candied pecans with this, and it is so good. The other thing that we bake with is Sukrin Gold. Sukrin does have the white sugar replacements as well, so they're an option in that. These are both 1-to-1, and they are brown sugar replacements. We've made candied pecans with them, candied bacon. They're both kind of delicious ways to substitute those brown sugars with more of a keto option. So those are our keto sweeteners. Now I want to talk about two, and I want to be clear about this. They are not keto, but they are low carb. When I first started on the keto lifestyle, I wasn't 100% in, as I'm sure you know if you've been following the page, or you can ask Nick. And I kind of wanted to start slow. So I'm like, okay, well, if I can just reduce the amount of sugar in my diet and reduce the glycemic impact, that's a good start. And then I'll start worrying about these baked goods with all of these erythritol and stevia and things I haven't heard of. So one of the first ones we tried is this Truvia baking blend. And what this is it's a blend of stevia, erythritol, and regular sugar. So it's, just plain sugar is listed on the label. It's 75% fewer calories, which means it has a lower glycemic impact, but it still does have cane sugar in there, so it is not a full keto option. It is a fantastic low carb option. It bakes really well. Because it has stevia, there is a conversion chart on the back, so make sure that you're following the conversion chart when you use it. But it is a really good baking option, especially for maybe that family who is not totally on board with keto, but wants to maybe start taking out some of those cane sugars in their life. The other option is this organic coconut palm sugar, and I love this stuff. Unfortunately, it's not super keto. So it does have, it basically has a glycemic impact like sugar. It's considered more like a paleo sugar than a white sugar. It's not quite as processed that way. And it does bake really well in cookies. However, you'll often see these on low carb pages, but it's not a keto option. And it's kind of tough to make it a low carb option as well. It is a 1-to-1 replacement, but you still have a glycemic impact on it, so not the best. So those are your two that I like to talk about because they come up a lot in conversation. Just to be clear that they're not keto, but they're also kind of a step up-ish from your processed white sugar, so they are an option for you, especially that low carb or moving towards the healthy side family. So with that, looks like Keto Baby needs a little bit of maybe book time here, so we're gonna talk to you guys later. Remember, keep it simple, keep it fun, keep it keto. Have an awesome day.